Exercise, we always hear, is this magic bullet. It can reduce rates of diabetes, heart disease, and cancer, and has benefits for our mental health. But perhaps not all exercise is equal. A new analysis out this week has found evidence that exercise as part of your job actually corresponds to an increased risk of death in men. Here's author of the study Peter Kuhne from VU University Medical Center in Amsterdam.
In society and also in science, there's a general conception that physical activity is always good for you. But we are working here at a occupational health research group, and we saw an emerging body of evidence showing that this may not always be the case for occupational physical activity. So this body of evidence showed that occupational physical activity may not always be good for your health. And then we wanted to look into that into more detail, and we did this large review study in which we collected data from 17 different studies from 13 different countries. And we indeed showed that men with physically active jobs die earlier than people who aren't physically active at their work.
Right, and when you were looking at this data, how did you pick apart the various factors? Because people with more active jobs might come from different backgrounds, and there could be all sorts of confounding factors in the way.
Yeah, indeed. We know that people from physically active jobs are typically from lower socioeconomic classes. And we know that these people typically smoke more, they tend to drink more, they are less active during their leisure time as well, and maybe because of that they tend to have higher BMI and other health issues. Yeah, so those are all variables that could potentially have disturbed our association, but that's something we adjust for in our analysis. So we only used data which were fully adjusted for these important variables.
If it is these active jobs contributing to this effect, why on earth would this be the case? We're always hearing how good exercise is for you.
Yeah, well, we think that that physical activity and at work and during leisure time are just two really different kind of exercises. You can imagine that if you go out for a run at night, you run for like half an hour, maybe an hour, and you feel better afterwards. You have been sweating and you have been raising your heart rate, and you feel better afterwards, and you can almost feel that you have increased your fitness. But once you are physically active at work, you work for like 8 hours in a row, you have very limited time to take breaks, and this is a whole different type of exercise, and we think that continuous exercise for 8 hours in a row actually strains your cardiovascular system rather than improves the fitness of your cardiovascular system.
What does this mean for us then? We're told to exercise all the time. So what do your findings mean we should do?
There's a large group in our society that is physically active at work, and we know of them that they aren't too active during leisure time. These are the people from the lower socioeconomic classes, as I just mentioned. And I think this is a very important to target on in the future in initiatives to try to get them a more balanced physical activity behavior, so to say. So I think what we should try to do for these people is try to make sure that their physical activity at work isn't too strenuous, that they are flat out at night and aren't able anymore to go for a run. Because that's, I think, what these people should be doing, go out for a run at night. Well, the activity they have on their job doesn't allow them to do so. And this is a big issue, I guess.
Peter Kuhne there, and that study is out in the British Journal of Sports Medicine.